Let us proceed.
If we're being honest, Grand Admiral Thrawn is one of the best characters in Star Wars. As well as that, it's almost clear that the long-lost Chiss is key to the upcoming stories within the Star Wars universe. Think about it. The Mandalorian Season 2 has shown us that Ahsoka Tano is seeking out Thrawn, and if you look closer, it's hinted that the Grand Admiral is back and is up to something. Now, this can be taken and connected with Heir to the Empire. This was a book by Timothy Zahn, which first introduced the character of Thrawn to the Star Wars universe. Sadly, the book is now part of Star Wars Legends and does not apply to canon, but if we know Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni well, it might be coming to canon soon. This is where our news and information comes into play today. Let's dive into the latest information as well as some theory crafting.
Now tell me, where is your master? Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?
Greetings my young Padawans, my name is Captain Jack and welcome to Star Wars Now. Before we do jump into today's video, use the force and hit that subscribe and like button. Then miss a video for myself and my team here at Star Wars Now. As always, if you're talking about Star Wars, then we want to hear about it. Okay, so let me quickly tell you about the book, Heir to the Empire. I'd highly recommend that you go and read the novel, as it is fantastic. Anyway, set 5 years after the destruction of the second Death Star and the collapse of the Empire, the galaxy is healing from the wounds of the war. Princess Leia and Han Solo are married, and Luke Skywalker has become the first in a long-awaited line of new Jedi Knights. However, thousands of light years away, the last of the Emperor's warlords, Grand Admiral Thrawn, has taken command of a shattered Imperial fleet, readied it for war, and pointed it at the fragile heart of the New Republic. When you hear that description of the book, we can draw similarities between that of the current canon of the Star Wars universe. Thanks to both The Mandalorian and the sequel films, we know that Luke Skywalker is getting ready to train the next generation of Jedi, and Han Solo and Leia are married. Additionally, we know that Thrawn is out there and building an Imperial Starfleet, it would seem. The Starfleet bit comes into it when we see Morgan Elsbeth, the magistrate who fights Ahsoka Tano. We're informed that she was crucial to the construction of the Imperial fleet. If she was working with Thrawn, which is implied in The Mandalorian Season 2, then he would have new ships to target the New Republic with. Elsbeth and her followers, or her private army, even wear the symbol of Thrawn in The Mandalorian Season 2. Anyway, let's touch on the news where we dive more into the world of Star Wars theories. Originally reported by the website Geekosity in December 2020, The Mandalorian Season 3 would end with the story heading towards the Heir to the Empire story arc. The website reported that the story of the book won't be interpreted exactly how it was printed, but rather like a shadow over the Mandalorian's original story. Additionally, it was reported that Mara Jade would be coming to canon. Whether this holds any weight, as she is connected to the Heir to the Empire storyline, also does remain to be seen. Though Geekosity reported that Karen Gillan of Marvel and Doctor Who is a favourite to play the role. Lucasfilm creative Dave Filoni is understood to be a massive fan of the Thrawn books. He even brought the Grand Admiral to canon via his animated show, Star Wars Rebels. Now, given the additional establishment of Thrawn's new canon, Lucasfilm and Disney have built the character up significantly more so than he previously was in Star Wars Legends. The original book author, Timothy Zahn, has also written even more new books for Thrawn as well. Now, it has been reported that Star Wars insiders believe the endgame of The Mandalorian would result in a movie titled Heir to the Empire, to kick off this next phase of storytelling for the Star Wars universe. Before we get into the movie part of the news, there are even more developments that point to the details of the book coming into play for The Mandalorian Season 3. First, we have the planet of Weyland appearing in The Bad Batch, a spin-off animated series following Star Wars The Clone Wars. Weyland appeared at the very end of Season 1, specifically the location of Mount Tantiss. The location was only till recently featured in Star Wars Legends, via the Heir to the Empire novel which we've been talking about. In the book, Thrawn and his first officer, Captain Pellaeon, travelled to Weyland in search of the Emperor Palpatine's dark vaults housing Imperial technology. There they found a mad clone of a long-dead Jedi Master, Joruus C'baoth. This leads us to our next detail. Recently, actor Christopher Lloyd was revealed to be guest starring for the upcoming third season of The Mandalorian. But who would Lloyd actually be playing? Well, none other than the mad Jedi Master clone that features in the books. This has not been confirmed, but is a popular fan theory right now, and one that does make sense when you look at Joruus C'baoth in drawings and actually look at Christopher Lloyd. In the book, Joruus offered to help Thrawn and his empire take on the New Republic, but he also had a keen focus on Leia Skywalker's unborn Jedi children. Now in canon, we only know of Ben Solo, later Kylo Ren, but it's an interesting detail nonetheless. If Lloyd is playing the character of Joruus C'baoth, it would connect well with Weyland being in the Bad Batch, as well as potentially appearing in The Mandalorian Season 3. So yes, an Heir to the Empire movie. All of the information we've mentioned before builds up to this recent character development. Geekosity and some Star Wars insider voices are claiming that the adaptation of the book, Heir to the Empire is coming in movie form as one of the next Star Wars movies. Sources suggest that the idea behind this film is it's to be a climax to several Star Wars series, including The Mandalorian and the upcoming Ahsoka series. Looking back at previous details, Lucasfilm creators previously stated that the two series and Rangers of the New Republic would culminate in a climactic storytelling event. Think Marvel Thanos-esque storytelling. All the individual superhero films, and maybe a series, eventually lead up to everyone coming together to fight the big bad and do away with him. Sadly, we don't know what's going to happen with Rangers of the New Republic, but it looks like that series may just be integrated into other series like Ahsoka and The Mandalorian. Looking at it like this, the puzzle pieces are all fitting together. Star Wars Ahsoka is about to start filming, and sort of serve as a sequel to the animated Star Wars Rebels series, especially with Natasha Liu as Sabine Wren. Essentially, the big picture project is coming together ever so slowly. Live action Star Wars programs, and by extension the animated shows, appear to be leading in this direction. Even The Mandalorian has been suggesting that something else has been going on in the galaxy. This of course was supposed to be leading into the Rangers of the New Republic storyline, which would have seen other characters set up and introduced to run into the Imperial Remnant. Speaking of the Imperial Remnant, they play a part in Heir to the Empire, and set up the plans of Thrawn in a sense. We've already seen this link in the chain via Moff Gideon. Sure, Gideon is somewhat arrested the last time we see him and likely thrown in New Republic jail at the end of the second season, but there are clues to his origins and plans. Actor Giancarlo Esposito, who plays Moff Gideon, has always somewhat teased that he thinks Gideon was answering to a higher power. That is also somewhat teased in The Mandalorian Season 2. Gideon had control of some dark cloning facility on Nevarro. We see Mando, Greef Karga, and Cara Dune destroy it and set back Gideon's plans. It sort of involves Dr. Pershing and the child, aka Grogu when we think about it. These cloning facilities could be connected to Thrawn, also via Weyland, and the mad clone of Jorus. But also, if we reach further into Star Wars legends, Thrawn even cloned himself at one point to ensure that he would survive his death. This plan did not work out as Luke Skywalker killed it off. Do you see how the pieces are fitting together now? It's all slotting in place and being super effective at the same time. We can even draw another detail with the cloning thing as well. Dr. Pershing from The Mandalorian even wears the same uniform as one of the Imperial cloners or Imperial scientists seen at the Weyland facility in the Bad Batch. Take a look on screen now at Dr. Pershing, and then take a look on screen at the scientist we see at Weyland, aka Mount Tantiss. It's a very similar uniform. Anyway, back on topic. In November 2020, before Heir to the Empire news started breaking via various websites, Esposito said that he expected Gideon to feature more prominently in the third season of The Mandalorian, rather than the previous ones. Taking this at face value, it tells us that Gideon likely has some explaining to do. Also, 3 has apparently been the plan for the series and story universe for some time now.
Long live the Empire. Long live the Empire.
Lucasfilm and Star Wars are a part of Disney, and if we look at how Disney constructs the Marvel Cinematic Universe, things are very well laid out in advance. Everything comes together in phases leading up to a pivotal moment, like Endgame. Now, Jon Favreau was involved in the production in some capacity. It would not surprise me if he's taken notes and done the same with Star Wars. Favreau is such a Star Wars Legends fan, as he grew up with it. Fans would argue that Heir to the Empire is some of the best extended Star Wars content ever produced, and many still personally regard it as a story following Return of the Jedi in favour of the sequel trilogy content. Seeing the stories brought to life through what we're currently watching like The Mandalorian and Ahsoka is just awesome. Given that Thrawn is personally my favourite character in the Star Wars universe, I am ever so excited to see how he's finally brought to live action. That is one last point. So far, there are no new details on who will be playing Thrawn in the upcoming shows or a potential movie. Personally, I am hoping that Lars Mikkelsen, who voiced Thrawn in Star Wars Rebels, would make a fantastic casting for the live-action version of the Grand Admiral.
You misunderstand, Captain. I'm not accepting surrenders at this time. I want you to know failure, utter defeat, and that it is I who delivers it crashing down upon you. Now, let us proceed.
It has been rumoured that this is the case though. Recently, a website known as smallscreen.co.uk wrote that Mikkelsen will be revealed at the upcoming Star Wars Celebration event and officially cast as the Grand Admiral. Will this happen though? It's sort of unknown. There is no actual sourcing for the website, as it's insiders once again. So for now, it's unknown, but we'll have to wait and see. Either way, we'll be watching Star Wars Celebration in excitement. Okay, Exalted Ones, that's it for me. What do you think about what we've spoken about today? Could Heir to the Empire make it into movie form? I think so. Either way, it looks like The Mandalorian Season 3 will set up what we've been looking for. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with the latest Star Wars news, lore, and more. You can follow us on social media as well. Make sure to let us know what you think in the video comment section below, because if you are talking about Star Wars, then we want to hear about it. That's it for me today on Star Wars Now. I've been Captain Jack, and we'll see you next time. May the Force be with you.